Thank you. I will try to keep it brief because I know we are short on time.
We are.
But good afternoon. My name is Rachel Lastinger. I'm the Associate Director of the Voter Access Project with the ACLU of Georgia. There are many issues with this bill, but I will highlight a few. So in section 4, beginning at lines 134, the National Change of Address Database is not a reliable tool for determining an individual's permanent residence. It requires the use of a third-party company who is not trained to assess voter eligibility in the same way that an election official is. And to be on the list requires an address change of more than 185 days. Yet many individuals may need their mail forwarded for more than 185 days for very legitimate reasons. Your mailing address should not determine your permanent residence, and this disenfranchises a subset of voters who are required to move frequently for various legitimate reasons. In section 5, line 155, the removal of the Georgia Civil Practice Act. The language of requiring evidence to just be persuasive and reliable is very vague and subjective. Not having specific requirements for standard of proof will increase the burden that already exists on Board of Elections to review these cases. In section 8, beginning in lines 188, increased criminalization is not the most effective or appropriate method for addressing intimidation of poll workers and election officials. We agree that this is a huge issue in our state, and it is a problem. However, there are more effective solutions that do not involve criminal penalties, such as address protection, de-escalation training, and funding for increased security. In section 9, lines 202, okay. In section 9, the language is just very vague on who is allowed to be, who's determining if it's willful or not. I will cede to Cindy.
Chairman Burns, thank you very much. Cindy Battles, Policy Director for the People's Agenda. First of all, let me say, I think that you're coming to this with good motivations. My concern right now is that there is a large number of cleanup lines in this bill that we need to address. And before I get started on some of those, I would like to humbly suggest that we table this and wait until after crossover and use a substitute to clean some of this up. There's several.
Thank you for your input. Just ask to take.
Well.
Thank you for your input.
We have 1 minute.
I read it.
Okay, so section 2, some of the wording actually contradicts itself and contradicts section 4 of the bill. We're talking a lot about missing birthdays and addresses, but that's actually a Garvis issue and the implementation of the software. So voters are going to be punished because the Secretary of State purchased software, and when the implementation happened, so even if you keep that, then you need to have an effective date so that the Secretary of State can clean up Garvis before we start removing voters from the rolls. I have questions about the section with paper ballots because a number of counties have to use emergency ballots when machines go down. And the way that it's worded right now, the county would literally have to ask the state election board for permission to use a paper ballot during the times when machines go down or even after polls close. And then also, again, the effective date of all of this, because one of the things that you're doing when you're changing the rules for unsheltered homeless people, you use the federal voter registration form. You're going to have to petition the EAC to get that form changed. So we're talking about disenfranchising people before the primaries happen. There's just a lot of language in this, again, that needs to be cleaned up, and we are more than willing to work with you to do that.
Thank you for your input. Thank you.